From the fantasy armchair, it is the Fantasy TyRant. Hey there, fellow fantasy football freaks. It's me, the Ty Guy, the Fantasy TyRant, back with another video, back in the fantasy armchair, here to help you in week 15. Cause hey, congratulations freaks, you're either still in the playoffs or you made it to the playoffs. This is the big time. This is the time when you gotta buckle down and do whatever it takes to win. And this show's gonna help prepare you for your week 15 matchup in the playoffs. Semifinals for most of you. Hey, if your league competes in week 17, find a new league. I'm gonna give you my top 10 waiver wire picks of the week, and just to let you know, we're in the playoffs now. So waiver wire is a little bit different. If you're here, chances are you're already stacked at running back, a wide receiver, or at least you've got a good enough team to work with. So in the playoffs, the waivers are mainly for streaming QBs, tight ends, and defenses. So I'll be focusing a lot more on those positions here for the next few weeks. Because unless you have an absolute matchup-proof stud at those positions, you're going to be streaming if you're smart. Hey, don't trust your fantasy season to some jamoke that you stumbled into the playoffs with. You got to play the matchups, you got to play who's hot. And I'm going to help you out with that here in just a minute. But real quick, I need a big boost in subscribers. The goal is to reach 200 by Christmas, and at this rate, I don't know if we'll make it. Now, viewership has stayed steady, even though many people aren't playing anymore. So that's good, but the subscriber count has slowed down tremendously. So we need to catch that back up. If you haven't subscribed and you like what I do, hey, bump that up for me, will ya? And hey, if you want me in your pocket during the playoffs, no, not like that, you sick fuck. Helping you make those crucial decisions that'll catapult you into the Super Bowl and beyond. And then check out my page on Patreon. I got the link in the description. There's different tiers, different membership levels, depending on what you want. You want to be able to access me via chat anytime you want? Hey, it's only $5 a month. That's a steal. You can direct message me anytime, day or not. Hey, try me. You'll be surprised when I'm awake. You want a more direct and instant connection? Hey, you can pay a little bit more, and you can even get phone calls. Anyway, check it out. Your support is very much appreciated, even if it's just a like or a subscribe. Hey, every little bit helps. Thank you so very much for all of that. Whatever you need from me that helps you, that's what I'm here for. And speaking of which, here they are. My top 10 waiver wire picks for week 15. Number 10, Jalen Reagor. Jalen just writes itself, doesn't it? These two had a connection at training camp, and it's about to make its way to the field and into the fantasy playoffs. With matchups against Arizona and Dallas in the playoffs, this could be a scary duo. Wide receivers are less important to pick up this time of year, as you likely have your chosen pack of studs that got you into the dance. But insurance isn't a bad thing to have, especially when it consists of a budding connection between a rookie QB and a rookie wide receiver. For Dynasty, this is fire. For the playoffs, with those matchups, Reagor is definitely worth a look. More on Hurts later. Number 9, Phillip Lindsay. Lindsay has slowly but surely taken over for Gordon as the lead back in the Broncos offense, for what that's worth. And that's why he's lower on the list, because that ain't worth much. But hey, having a starting running back available on the waiver wire makes him at least mentionable on this list. But on top of that, matchups against the Bills and the Chargers might make snagging Lindsay up worth it. So there you go. If you have room, go get him. Number 8, Jalen Hurts. On the other side of the Jalen connection, you got a mobile quarterback with weapons and soft matchups in the fantasy playoffs? Yes, please. I'll take all you got. This guy dropped 18 carries for 106 yards this past game as a QB. He has the ball in his hands every play for the Eagles, throwing or running with it himself most of the time. That's a valuable asset to have. Defenses don't know him yet, so they'll be hard-pressed to stop him. And the Eagles got the Cards and Cowboys the next couple weeks. Talk about easy. This could be a league-winning QB right here, or he could be a bust. High risk, high reward. At least worth a stash. Snag him up. Number 7, Tim Patrick. Other than one goose egg in week 13, Tim Patrick has been a consistent flex play all season. So how in the bloody fucking hell is he only owned in 20% of leagues? I've seen him on the waivers in 16-team leagues. How the fuck is that possible? I don't get you guys sometimes. Hey, go get him before your opponent does. Number 6, Baker Mayfield. He fucking killed it last night. Holy shit. We know he's got big game ability, but trying to predict when it'll come out is like trying to predict a crackhead's next move. However, I can't deny that he's been looking good lately, and while this week you may want to look elsewhere against the Giants, Baker's worth a stash for the championship game as he'll get a juicy as fuck matchup against the Jets. So pick him up, stash him this week as he faces the Giants' sneaky good pass defense, and then start him in the championship game against the Jets. Hey, These are the bold moves that separate the champs from the chumps. Do it. Number 5, Cole Kmet. I've been telling you all for weeks that this kid's taken over at the tight end position in Chicago, but most of you ignored me. And that's why he's only 6% owned. Why? This guy's a borderline tight end 1 going forward. And he's got the weak-ass Vikings D this week, and a cash money matchup against the neutered Pussycats of Jacksonville in championship week next week. He is criminally under-owned for such a talented tight end. If you're hard up for a tight end like many of us are, pick up Kmet today. Number 4, Drew Lock. Hey, I even question my own expertise putting Lock up this high, but hear me out. He's got the Bills and Chargers the next couple weeks, and both are potential shootouts. And while the Broncos haven't exactly been a shootout-conducive team, Drew Lock has loosened things up a bit as of late and been putting up some decent numbers in good matchups. He's matchup-based, sure, but he's got bottom 10 defenses against the QB in potential shootouts the next couple weeks. Could you imagine winning a championship with Drew Lock at the helm? In fantasy, that's the only way he gets a championship. And he could really do it. So go get him, even if it's just to keep him away from your opponent. Number 3, Irv Smith. It's time for Rudolph the Red Zone Reindeer to go out to pasture and let the new stud tight end in Minnesota take the torch. You all knew it was a matter of time before he took over and started his rise to tight end 1 status, and that starts now. He's got the Bears defense next week, and while they're pretty stout, the tight end position is their Achilles heel. Cousins can finally look beyond Thielen and Jefferson for consistent play, and I'm sure he'll take advantage. If you need a tight end spot start this week, Irv Smith is the guy for you. Go get him. Number 2, Mitch Trubisky. Yeah, I said it, and yeah, he's the number 2 waiver wire pickup for me. You want to fight me on it? This dude's been a top 10 QB over the past 3 weeks since he's been back as a starter for the Bears, and he faces a couple money matchups in the playoffs against Minnesota and Jacksonville the next 2 weeks. This is your potential league winner at QB right here. Even if you're comfortable with your QB, you should think about picking up this guy to keep him away from your opponents. And who knows, you might even start him and win a championship with him. Hell, I've won titles with spot starts from Cousins, Tannehill, Jameis Winston, and even Case Keenum. I smell that kind of potential here. I'm going to pick him up in every league I can. You should too. And my number 1 waiver wire pickup of the week is Kiki Cutie. He was my number 2 pickup last week, and he's the number 2 pass catcher right now for Deshaun Watson. Cooks was already banged up, and he might even be more banged up now. So how in the Hitler-burning hell is Kiki Cutie still owned in less than 50% of fantasy leagues across all platforms? He won't be after this week. Not really a superb matchup against the Colts this week, but next week, in the fantasy championships, he gets to feast on the Bungles. And with the possibility of a banged up, out, or held back Cooks looming, Kiki will likely be on a lot of championship rosters this season. Get him now, or you fucked up. And now for some streaming defenses. Buffalo takes on the prancing ponies of Denver this week. They're giving up the second most fantasy points to defenses, even with Locke playing better. I think this matchup will pay off if you take advantage. Can't fuck around on defenses in the playoffs, and I feel good about this one. The Bills have been improving their defense and are scoring consistent numbers. So get them on your squad. The Cleveland Browns get to defend against passes from Danny Dimes this week. Do I really need to say more? Jones gets the job done with the combo of passing and running, but he also gives the ball away like he's fucking Santa Claus. 34 turnovers in the past 2 seasons, second only to Heinous Jameis. That's got the Browns D licking their chops. And I bet you're drooling a bit too. Snatch them up. And the Cowboys suck, but they've got killer matchups against the Niners and Eagles in the playoffs. Dalton's got that team playing a little bit better now, and that will help the defense as well. They aren't great, but if you're in a deep league and you're looking to exploit the matchups, the Cowboys could be a fine team to own. Well, there you go, and here's some honorable mentions for you. Keep an eye on that backfield situation in Miami. Lynn Bowden is a running back, wide receiver combo, and that could definitely help out if he's going to be the lead back there, or if he's going to be doing a lot more work as a wide receiver. He could be a heck of a gadget player if he gets to start, so keep him under your radar. And of course, if they're available, you want to get your handcuffs for your stud running backs. That should be your priority on the waiver right now, getting your handcuffs. So if you've got Cook, get Madison. If you've got Kamara and Latavius Murray still available, get him. You got Aaron Jones, go get Jamal Williams. Get the handcuffs for your studs. I can't stress that enough. Oh yeah, and Dan Arnold's becoming a thing in Arizona. We can't ignore that. Keep an eye on it. And Chad Hansen as well. But that depends on Cooks. If Cooks is out, Chad Hansen might be worth looking at. If Cooks is in, not so much. And some other defenses to look at. Tennessee's got the purring little kittens of Detroit. So that's worth a look in deep leagues. Also, the Jets are kind of a sneaky DFS play, as they're going up against the volatile Jared Goff and the Rams. Could be a sneaky play, but I'd only do it in tournaments. So that's it for this show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing, liking, and all of that. Check out the Patreon. I appreciate all your support. Remember, we want to reach 200 subscribers by Christmas, because if we do, I'll have something special for you. But we're going to need a big bump on that, all right? So get your friends to come on, family, your neighbors' pets. Hey, you never know who's got a YouTube account these days, right? Oh, and follow me on Twitter at fantasy_TyRant. And for those of you who are wondering about the tirade, don't worry, I've still got that coming. I decided to do things different. I'm going to do that separately. I'm going to do the tirade as its own thing. So those of you who just want this information, you can get the information. Those who want a little more insight into my head, the tirade's coming. So look out for that tonight. Other than that, on Wednesday, we've got the ranking show. Of course, Friday, benches, bumps, and deep dives, all right? So until later today, or until Wednesday, you take care. I'm out. Peace.